Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. Global silver output dropped by 6% in 2020. Let's explore. It should really be of no surprise to many of us out there that silver production was reduced by so much last year concerning all of the shutdowns, in which affected the mining sector as well, and why we saw prices for silver increase. But it may surprise us in a sense that the prices have not increased more than they have. I think that should be a lesson to us all, especially as production ramps up, as we hopefully are getting through this pandemic, and with the vaccine, maybe we'll see things return to normal this year. And that is something that we should keep in mind in terms of how we assess silver prices moving forward. You know, as many people mistaken for me being down on silver, it's really not the case. I just like to be realistic about the metal and take into account different points of view in terms of its price movement. Many of us have been burned in the past when we expected the price of silver to just skyrocket because of a myriad of different factors, mainly related to currency devaluation by the Federal Reserve and Congress here in the United States, with the dollar being the top reserve currency out there. But this article from Kitco outlines what's going on and has a number, because none of us really knew, but now we do know. And this is interesting information we're going to kind of pour over and see exactly what the numbers tell us, especially compared to prior years with regards to production and demand, especially because there's been an unprecedented demand for silver this year in terms of those of us who accumulate the metal to hedge, or some people even as an investment. In 2020, global silver production declined 6% to 25,000 tons. Mexico was the largest silver producing country in 2020. According to the preliminary data released by the USGS, the U.S. Geological Survey, global mined silver output was 25,000 tons in 2020, which was a 6% decline compared to 2019, which had 26,500 tons. This drop in silver production was primarily associated with temporary shutdowns of mines in China, Mexico, and Peru in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. And really, one could make an argument that, maybe we've reached a peak silver production, but look at it compared to 2014 and 2018. And I believe 2018 had the highest in the years showed here. Mexico was the largest producer of 5,600 tons, followed by Peru at 3,400 tons, and China at 3,200 tons. 9 out of the top 10 silver producing countries have seen a decline in their silver output, with one country, the United States of America, increases domestic production by 2%. That's interesting indeed to see that where these numbers lie. Here's the U.S., and of course it's not by a whole lot, but it is something at least. The top 10 silver producing countries, tons, 2020 preliminary data there with the USGS in this graph here. So according to the USGS data, in 2020, global consumption of silver was estimated to have decreased slightly from that of 2019. Coin and bar consumption, though, increased for the 4th year in a row. So this is something that's been trending for a while, that there has been an increased interest in coin and bar consumption, and round as well. Consumption for industrial use was estimated to have decreased in the first half of 2020, owing to lockdown restrictions in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, supply chain disruptions, lowered inventory replenishment, and reduced labor forces within factories. Jewelry and silverware consumption of silver was estimated to have decreased by 23 and 34%, respectively. USGS added that in 2020 there was an increased physical investment in silver, reaching an estimated 7,370 tons compared with 5,820 tons in 2019. Global holdings reached a reported 28,800 tons compared with 30,890 tons in 2019. So there you have it. Very interesting indeed. As this increased physical investment in silver is encouraging, and I think that is really where you're going to see the squeeze take place. It's an increased buying effort and sustained in terms of buying silver for as a hedge against economic instability, because that's how I see it. And we see that new buyers, especially in light of what we've seen with this silver short squeeze and the aftermath thereof. And really we are in the aftermath of that particular situation for silver and buying silver as a hedge against economic instability. And it's encouraging to see, but it's also something that requires a little bit of understanding, even though silver as a metal is very simple. You buy it, you hold it, there it is. But the way the price moves and the expectations of the metal are something that needs to be heavily understood, pun intended there, as this metal has intrigued us, it has enlightened us, but it has also frustrated us and has deceived us in some ways. And that is something that even myself, as someone who's a long-term holder of this metal, dating way back to the 90s, I feel like I've been disillusioned by it at times. And this is why I like to approach the metal in a different way than most in the community do, because silver is a metal that's here to stay, but it's also in many ways misunderstood. And this misunderstanding has led to a lot of people feeling jaded by the metal. And so as we get new stackers out there, it is certainly encouraging to see that, but it's also something that can leave a sour taste in one's mouth if you don't fully understand the expectations that the metal provides. It doesn't pay dividends like gold. It doesn't create wealth. It doesn't do anything but sit there. But because of its historical value that we've seen, known as intrinsic value, silver has been money for most of history, and in terms of civilized history, in other words, organizations of governments and the like, and order, silver's been there through it all. And more than any other metal out there, by the way, other than bronze or copper. And so this is something that I think is encouraging, and it will give people a little bit of a confidence that they are doing the right thing by holding silver in this manner, in this way. I've always encouraged folks to take into account all the information either provided here or other channels or other sources, and to really make a decision, an educated decision based off the information that is out there. But this article here is a headline that one may think is bullish on silver's price movement going forward, but I would say in many ways it's the opposite. Although, considering where the price has been and how natural market forces play a part with the great demand that we've seen in the sector of bullion investment, so to speak, there's other good demands that are going to have as the economy improves, or at least gets better temporarily, and that is the heightened demand for silver in the for electronic vehicles, solar panels, and industrial sectors. That's going to increase. That increase in demand and the increase in production output will be the tail of the tape as to where prices go. You heard a video I posted earlier of my predictions for silver in 2021, and I am bullish that silver will rise. In fact, I made a prediction that it's going to go anywhere between $30 and $35 an ounce. You can see that video at the end screen of this video. And I still hold on to that because of even though we may even see ramped up production this year. We'll see how it plays out, but nonetheless, it is what it is. The information is there, and it is clear that silver production was down last year while demand was high. It is on par with 2015. And we'll see how it plays out. Very interesting indeed. But the silver I've got is something that I learned to appreciate. You learn to appreciate silver a lot more when the prices are higher. But even as such, it's a beautiful metal, and I enjoy having it. And even so, even today, I'm still accumulating it, even though my main focus is on gold. But it is definitely a metal to be reckoned with in terms of where it's gone or where it could potentially go or where it may not go. So there you have it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.